British Egyptologist Mr. Carter discovered King Tutankhamun's, also known as King Tut's tomb. One of the few tombs that has never been robbed over, 3,300 years. It was intact. He was the first one to discover it since it was buried, seeing all the gold. That's why it was such a big deal. But there was a curse that affected his crew. Like many curses when you disturb a tomb. Is it folklore? Is it real? We'll find out today as we enter the Valley of the Temples. We're now crossing the Nile, headed over to the East Bank, to the Valley of the Kings. We're here in the Valley of Kings, and yeah, if you get here, just word of advice, buy your ticket online so you can go to multiple tombs, because if you buy it here, they only allow you to go 3 tombs, and they don't really tell you, so then you go to the wrong tombs, and then you're done. You want to go to see the King Tut's tomb, they say you saw 3 already, sorry. They also charge you for a little car. It's like a 20 Egyptian pound, not expensive, but you can literally walk it, and then the driver's gonna ask you for a tip. It's really like a 2-minute drive. You could just walk it, but it's around a corner, so everyone thinks it's farther, and then all the guides tell you it's impossible. You won't know what tomb to go to, and then you come here and there's maps, there's names, so it's not that bad. So I think Egyptian scams. So you could just come here and do it yourself. Don't pay, just walk. Once you get to the gate, taxi could drop you off, just walk up. You don't have to buy the little go-kart or the little golf cart, because it's literally like a 5-minute walk, 6-minute walk. So you see the entrance to all these tombs all through here. See behind me, this is of Ramses the IX, and this was all covered up with dirt. You wouldn't know it was here to prevent robbers and everything like that. So yeah, so all these tombs were covered, so they slowly excavate them. So covered and sealed inside to prevent robbers, although a lot of them were found, except for King Tut's tomb. So you can see behind me, this is Osiris, the god Osiris. You can tell because he's usually green. He's got the feather crown above him, and they can also see representations of the god Ra. Kind of the scarab beetle pushing it. Scarab beetle pushes his dung up a hill. So ancient Egyptians saw that and kind of saw that it was like the sun, which is interesting because that means they think the sun was round, not just circle. Like when you stare at the sun, you just see a circle. They actually knew it was round because the scarab beetle pushes the dung up, it's round. So they use that as representation for Ra. Also kind of funny to use dung for the representation of a god as important as god Ra. So you also see Horus here. And I believe that's a representation of the moon. If you have the circle with that line, I believe that's a representation of the moon, not the moon and the sun. So that's on top of Horus. You can tell it's Horus because he always has the hawk face. Not all hawks are Horus though, just usually a man's body with the head of a hawk. My own interpretation of this one, behind me, you see the snake, the head, and a woman slanted on it. I see kind of like Pythagoras' theorem. I see mathematics. I see the sacred triangle, if you will. Also, you can see right here, this is the goddess Hathor. You can tell it's a female face with cow ears. Because Hathor was the cow goddess. I can't tell if they drew the face in, but it looks like original. It's crazy. The paint is so preserved here because the desert and the high heat, and since it's in, under mountains, it's preserved so well, all the color. Look at the roof. Yeah. Welcome to Egypt, where you try to pay to go in the tomb and then they have the tomb blocked off. Egypt. Take your money, promise you the world, and give you trash. So we can't even go in the tomb here. So I hope not all tombs are like that, since I paid, you know, a pretty good amount to see all these tombs. I think it was like $60 to see all the tombs, and you got to get here and pay for that, cross the river, and everyone's trying to hustle you. So very disappointing that they have it barred off. I find this hieroglyphic very interesting. You have these snakes. A lot going on here. You have upside down women, but you also have these snakes, and they have these arrows coming out from it. But on the snake's head, you see these lines going from snake to arrow to snake to arrow. And then when you get to the last snake, or the first snake, I don't know, the arrow's turned around. And then you see the line come all the way into the front of the bark with the two eyes of Horus and this Arab beetle holding the sun Ra. Behind me is the famous tomb of King Tutankhamun, also known as King Tut. In 1922, Howard Carter found this tomb, or excavated this tomb, and most of the artifacts are now in the museum in Cairo, the Cairo Museum, but they do have, apparently his body is still in there out of respect probably, but this is the famous one that made this place famous. The reason it's famous is because tombs that was open that wasn't robbed for the 3,300 years before, which most of these tombs are robbed, so it was undisturbed. So really interesting, especially with its location, because all these tombs, it's kind of lined, it's kind of in the middle. So I wonder if they walked right over it. All the robberies over the years just kind of missed it. So King Tut's body is behind me, and this is the chamber where I believe they found it. It was within 3 coffins, kind of like the Russian eggs. So the first outer coffin was made of wood, the inner coffin inlaid with gold and gems, and the inner coffin pure gold. King Tut was not a well-known king. He died at 19. You see him back here. His mummy still lays here. Everything else is in the Cairo Museum, but he was didn't do much with his life. He was a short king, 19 years old. Probably died of some type of bone cancer, they think. Interesting thing was his face looks like Prince Charles today. Maybe there's connections to the royal family. I do know there's connections to the royal family for thousands and thousands of years ago, so maybe it goes even to the Egyptian times, that the royal family still exists today. But yeah, they did a 3D model of his skull and kind of made a face, and it looks exactly like Prince Charles. Very interesting. Could be part of the British royal family now. I think he died suddenly because his tomb isn't that grand. You know, there's it's kind of a small tomb compared to the other pharaohs and kings, so maybe they had a hurry, it was unexpected death, so that hurry and mummify his body before it started to decay. So inside the sarcophagus, as you can see here, this is the original sarcophagus. There's a 3-layered coffin found inside. You can see Howard Carter looking at the remains there. They actually took a lot of photos and they're well documented. I think they took like 3,000 photos, and they had a tomb near here where they developed the films. And they're actually, I hear the photos are better quality than some of our cameras now, some of our digital cameras. Now let's talk about the curse of the pharaohs. So Howard Carter in 1922 opened this up, and his network had some interesting curses that were put upon them. Sometimes pharaohs would put a curse to prevent robbers. I don't think King Tut's tomb actually has any inscription like that. Like I said, it's a rushed tomb. It's not very grand. Probably because he died from sudden causes at a young age. They weren't prepared for it. So were these curses real? Could be, but also scientifically, there's a body decaying in there. So it could be fungi, bacteria, even radiation that could cause death. So a messenger of Carter, he sent a messenger while he was away from home to send a message to his home. And as the messenger approached his home, he heard what sounded like a human crying or screaming. And when he entered Carter's house, he noticed within a bird cage there was a cobra in the bird cage eating Mr. Carter's canary. A cobra is a sign of the Egyptian monarchy. Just like you see the cobra on the king's head, it was depicted there to spite the enemies, to protect the king from the enemies, to attack the enemies. So it was interesting that he found a cobra eating Mr. Carter's canary. And these types of things started to happen throughout the years that correlated with the dates of the opening of the tomb and so forth. Also, these curses started to make the New York Times and spread around the world. And Mussolini was gifted a mummy in Italy, and he got rid of it. It was in a plaza, and he got rid of it because he felt that it could be cursed and be a curse to Italy, especially, during World War II. Had to find some shade here. It's baking out there. But Henry Field was a friend of Carter's. He received a paperweight with some bits of a mummy's hand inside the paperweight with a bracelet with the inscription, "Cursed be to him who moves my body. To him shall come fire, water, and pestilence." Well, Mr. Field's house was soon after receiving the gift burnt down. He rebuilt it, and then it was flooded. Kind of go along with the curse on the bracelet and the paperweight that Carter gifted him with the mummy hand. Even non-superstitious Egyptian Zahi Hawass, who's like a world-renowned Egyptologist. He's kind of Egypt's like grand historical figure here. I believe he might be retired now, but even Hawass, Hawass is very close-minded when it comes to new ideas about Egypt, although he's a great archaeologist, awesome for history, although I think he's a little close-minded as years have gone on and refuses to even debate Graham Hancock. You can find the video, I'll put a link below. Stormed off, doesn't know much about other history around the Mediterranean, even new excavations, so I think what he believes is true, and he doesn't want to hear anything else like Göbekli Tepe, for example, that predates the pyramids by 10,000 years, if not more. Mr. Hawass excavated 2 mummified children, and he claims that remember, he's not superstitious, claims that his nightmares were haunted by these 2 kids for a while. So there's even a tomb he mentions that a young archaeologist looked at, and the young archaeologist excavated this tomb, and on the date that he broke into this tomb, his dad died like a year later. 2 years later, his grandpa died, or certain family members kept dying on these dates. So Mr. Hawass even refused to look into that tomb, even though he's non-superstitious at all. He let that one be. Allah Akbar.
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem. No, it's okay, brother. So this is I believe the Queen's tomb, which is not as deep as the King's. Don't quote me on that, but it just looks like a female figure if I had to guess. But this piece of stone, this is the lid, and then they got on plexiglass, but under, you can see the actual sarcophagus. It's so massive. I mean, Egyptians weren't messing around. This is huge. This is huge, and you can kind of see the form below, so you can tell she's not super big. But they probably maybe put the treasures and stuff inside. I don't know. I think this one was probably robbed. Who knows, like thousands of years ago. You know, this is from 3,300 years ago. All this stuff. So, you know, 2,300, 2,500 BC. See the huge crypt behind me. So the sarcophagus was inside. Excuse me, it's kind of dark. And then you got the actual lid of the sarcophagus. Absolutely massive. I mean, the video is probably not doing justice. It's just a huge piece of rock. I mean, it is absolutely insane. There was also a civil war during the Egyptian times where a lot of these were taken over during the war, and a lot of them were broken into, a lot of the tombs. So, you know, that was predates Jesus when that happened. So you can imagine just years and years, thousands of years of looting and robbing and stealing. We're lucky to even have this now. It's interesting. Merenptah, this tomb, they have the Book of the Gates in there, and there's 4 races mentioned, 2 of which are the Syrians and Nubians. And you can see them depicted here in the image. Behind me is a pyramid-shaped mountain, Tad Dehent, as the ancient Egyptians known it, referred to as the Peak. Basically, it looked like the pyramids of Giza 1,000 years before they started here, around 1500 BC. Pyramids of Giza, 2500 BC. So they think that they saw that this was kind of a pyramid shape, and they decided to bury people here later. It's interesting because they couldn't build a pyramid, so they chose a mountain, would be my guess. 1,000 years before this time, they were able to build the pyramid. So what was lost? Or maybe they just realized it was so crazy, maybe it's financials, who knows? So now I'm going to enter into the tomb of Ramses the 5th and 6th. Apparently they're in the same tomb. So let's go check it out.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Oh my, I can already see it from a distance going down. You can see this huge sarcophagus behind me. It's quite the entrance from all the other tombs I've been in. So you can see it from a distance. That's how large it is. So you see we're in the tomb of Ramses, I believe the 6th, and the sarcophagus was so shattered they kind of rebuilt it. You can see there's a lot of like destruction from the robberies and looting over thousands and thousands of years. And then they try to put the fragments back together the best they could. You can see the goddess Nut, the sky above us, the nighttime. Yeah, all the stones are just massive. Even if you go to loot this place, how they would break this is, it really does feel like a tomb of giants. I mean, we're deep underground here, and it's so huge. I mean, look at the stone behind me. I don't know what that is. Something they broke, but it's probably the huge sarcophagus that was in here. But it's like you'd have to have dynamite. This hieroglyphic up here really feels like astronomical. You know, you got the bull, you got the lion, Leo here, you got the ram, I believe, got the crocodile. Seems Horus is killing the ram. I think it's astronomical. Now we're heading to Seti, the first tomb. Looks pretty steep. Everyone looks pretty exhausted coming out. So going in there. It's a hard left from the main road. Ooh. This sarcophagus almost seems to show the path down of the sarcophagus. Down, down. You see these boxes going down. With snakes and everything around it. Cobras. Yeah, it must be a depiction of how they brought the sarcophagus down here. Or maybe the funeral procession. I'm on this bridge right now, but you see how deep it goes. Definitely don't want to drop my phone. I love boxes, but this is the similarities between the Ark of the Covenant that had the two angels facing each other, the two cherubim. You see here, multiple boxes with two faces facing each other. I don't know whose faces those are, but very similar. You have two that are red and two that are yellow or gold. Getting led into rooms for tips by this guy. Some are worth it, some are so good. I gotta be quiet. See, I'm back there. The trick is to give them a little bit of money so they keep taking you to other rooms so they don't, because if you give them all your money to the first room, they'll show you no other rooms. So just give them a little bit. And go, God dang it. And they'll keep showing you rooms. Anubis, Osiris, yes. Okay, I was wrong. Last room I went into sucked. It was a cool room, but you could tell they're still doing archaeological sites back there. He wouldn't let me take a video. I think I might have snuck one, maybe. We'll see. Might be a mobile view, but it's just dark in there, and there's no hieroglyphics or anything, at least not from what I could see. So probably like a storage room or something, I don't know. So the lights just went out. So the power just went out, it's kind of dark. So you see the power just went out down here. It's kind of a shocking. We're deep down in the cave and all the lights went out. Well, lights just came back on, everyone's happy. We're deep down there when they went out. I said, oh, Rod just came back. So yeah, it's funny, the lights went out, we're down that tomb. Kind of scary, it was kind of cool, I liked it. It was kind of an eerie feeling. We're deep down, all of a sudden the lights go off and you're just in pitch black, like the tomb was for thousands and thousands of years. But 63 tombs totals here in the Valley of Kings. Probably I'm gonna see 3 or 5, 6, 7 maybe, but you're gonna have to pay for the extra ones. You get 3 with the admission ticket. So when you come in, make sure to pick the 3 you want to see. King Tut, Tutankhamun, most popular one. He might be an extra charge. So word of the wise, just go online and buy all of them, and sometimes they check your ticket, sometimes they don't, depends who's working the door. But yeah, so you can see behind me the carts. You buy a ticket for 20 Egyptian pounds. Then they ask you for tips when you get back, and then I come back and they won't even look at me to give me a ride, even though I already paid the ticket, because I didn't tip the first time, I'm assuming. Probably could have bugged them, but I'm just walking by and I want to show you how quick the walk is. You know, it's a hot day, it's like 90 something today. I'm fine with the heat, I grew up in the heat, so I actually like it, but it could just show you that, you know, 20 Egyptian pounds isn't much. That's like nothing compared to American dollars. It's really cheap. So, but if you want to walk, if you're a solo backpacker where every cent counts, every dollar counts, then you could just walk this from the gate of the Valley Kings. You see him coming by, probably asking for a ride. No, didn't get it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna move it around, show you. So that's the gate. I already see the gate right there. So probably a 10-minute walk, I would say. So I'm the only one doing it. Some other people told me they wish they would have walked, but they thought it was much farther. So for you solo backpackers that's on a budget travelers, you could just walk up there, dude. And they're gonna tell you in there, you need a guide. It's so confusing up here. It's not. There's maps, there's names over every cave. A guy tried to get me to sign up, and he's like, it's so big, and once you get in, I go, well, they have names over the tombs, right? So I could just decide which one I go to. He goes, no, it's gonna be hard for you to understand. It's in Arabic. It's in English. I think there's Arabic, English. I don't know if there's Mandarin, but these guys, they'll lie. But anyways, you see the pyramid mountain behind me, it's beautiful. Another thing to say, there's definitely tombs. This guy's trying to sell me stuff. See, just started a video, runs up to $1. There's definitely tombs that haven't been found. There's definitely gold all over Egypt that's still not been found, for sure. I heard rumors that someone found some gold when they do renovations to their basement in Cairo. They found gold and they actually sold it for millions of dollars like years ago on the black market, because if you tell Egypt about it, they'll take it. So, yeah, definitely tons of stuff still to be discovered here, but there's so much police and everything around. Even if you want to go hiking in the mountains, I asked, they said you have to get like a police escort, they might turn you down, they're gonna watch you, even hiking. So I don't know how you would be able to even look for that stuff. I'm in a bazaar outside the Valley Kings. I think most of this is from China. That's what I've been told by an Egyptian guy. So like any other country, San Francisco, whatever, usually the tourist stuff is just from China. So